ushers, if you would, please do the invocation. Mr. Crawford, lead us in the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all you've done for us. Lord, we thank you for this city. Lord, we're so thankful for our country. Lord, pray that you would help us to do everything we can in the best interest of the citizens. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the reading of the minutes of the previous council meeting. Members of council have had an opportunity to review them. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion?
I have a second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda, communications from the mayor. I don't have anything tonight. Next item on the agenda is zoning matters. We have none. Brings us to show time for Mr. Stokes. Ordinances.
Ordinance number 2019-9, annexation, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof. Section 1, that the following property owned by James Howard Wallfile and known as map 0013D050 portion and 0013D051897 Dyer Bridge Road is annexed into the city of Fort Oglethorpe. Said property is particularly described in a deed attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity and unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. First reading 25th of March 2019, second reading tonight 8th of April 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. We'll continue under ordinances. Second reading of ordinance number 2019-10, and if at any time you would like a break, you let us know.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-10, rezoning, be it ordained by the council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby named the authority thereof. Section 1, that the following property owned by James Howard Wallflower and known as map 0013D050 portion and 0013D051-897 Dyer Bridge Road is hereby rezoned to a planned development mixed-use PM zoning. Said property is particularly described in the deed attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. First reading 25th day of March 2019, second reading tonight 8th of April 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next item is the second reading of ordinance number 2019-11. Mr. Stokes.
Rezoning ordinance 2019-11, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof. Section 1, that the following property owned by Better Built Homes and known as map 000-20020 Enterprise Drive is hereby rezoned to a C1 special exception zoning. Said property is particularly described as follows in Exhibit A. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. First reading 25th day of March 2019, second reading tonight 8th day of April 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next item is the second reading of ordinance number 2019-12. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-12, rezoning be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, it is hereby ordained by authority thereof, section 1, that the following property owned by Bernard H. Brown and known as map 0019A002, a portion thereof, 540 Highway 41, is hereby rezoned to a C1 special exception Y zoning. Said property is particularly described in deed attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance, unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council.
Thank you, Mr.
First reading. No,
Second reading.
second reading, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-13, annexation, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof, that the following property owned by Emerson Russell and known as map 0010D00100A Max Smith Road is annexed in the city of Fort Oglethorpe. Said property is particularly described in the Exhibit A attached to this ordinance. Any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. First reading, 25th day of March, 2019. Second reading tonight, 8th day of April, 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next is item number 9, which is ordinance number 2019-14. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-14, rezoning, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof, section 1, that the following property owned by Emerson Russell and known as map 0010D00100A Max Smith Road is hereby rezoned to an I-1 zoning. Said property is particularly described in Exhibit A. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. First reading, 25th day of March, 2019. Second reading, 8th day of April, 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. And I know this is the one you've been looking forward to. Ordinance number 2019-15. Mr. Stokes.
2019-15 zoning variance, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof, section 1, that the following property owned by Bullock Golden and known as map 0003A102, 401 Battlefield Parkway is hereby given a zoning variance. Said property is particularly described as Exhibit A. Any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. This is the first reading, ladies.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 1 is resolution number 2019-03, ADA transition plan. Ms. Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a resolution to adopt the Americans with Disability Act Transition Plan for the city of Fort Oglethorpe. This is a requirement of Title II, and it includes details on public accessible locations like City Hall, the fire station, public parks, sidewalks, curbs, all of those items. It assesses our current state of those pieces of infrastructure, and it makes suggestions as they're needed to accommodate ADA.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2 under resolutions, resolution number 2019-04, updating position control and pay plan. Ms. Simpkins.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Staff requests that we strike this item from the agenda tonight and bring it back at a later date.
I have a motion to strike item number 2 under resolution.
Motion, sir.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is stricken from the agenda. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We have none. Next item on the agenda, reading of city clerk and any communications. We have none. Next item on the agenda is new business. Item number 1 under new business, proposed approval, work detail agreement. Ms. Simpkins.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is an annual contract that the city of Oglethorpe enters into for an offender work crew. Essentially, this contract will go from July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020. It'll include 1 offender work detail with a maximum of 10 defenders and 1 full-time correctional officer to supervise that crew. These work crews, we rely on the work crews to help maintain our parks and other public spaces. And the total cost of this 1-year agreement is $39,500. We recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2 under new business, proposed approval to pay auditor invoice. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and Council, this is an invoice that requires your approval because the dollar value of the invoice is anything over $5,000 must come before City Council for approval to pay. We have an annual contract, renewable contract with JHM Certified Public Accountants to do our annual audit. And this is simply authorization from City Council to pay that invoice for work they've completed this year.
The amount, Ms. Simpkins.
$15,000, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Do I have a
Second.
second? Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 3 under new business, proposed approval of Max Smith roundabout. Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Bringing before you tonight, this will be for the construction to do the roundabout there at Max Smith and Steel Road. We bid that out first part of the year. We had 3 bidders bid it out. The low bid was Tally Construction. It was $490,661.67, and the funds will be $350,000 that is allocated in the budget. The remainder would be requested to come from our fund balance of $140,661.67.
Thank you, Mr. Long. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
What's the timetable on that? Do you think?
I believe it was 120 or 150 days on that. And then one thing that's held off, we held off of it due to the splash ballot, because if it was, we approved it before, then you couldn't have used that if it did pass. So we held it off for there, and then we asked them to hold it because they had like a 30-day time on it, which the weather wasn't permitting anyway, so they agreed to hold their price till we did get it approved on there. So they couldn't have started on it probably still now, so the timing hopefully is gonna work out well with the weather and all, so they should be able to get started on it pretty quickly.
Mr. Long, is the roundabout large enough to accommodate 18-wheel trucks?
Yes, it is accommodated for tractor trailer traffic, and also, yeah, it meets all It's designed by, DOT guidelines, so it will hold any of the traffic.
What is gonna be in the center of that roundabout?
It will be, the edge of it'll be and I don't know if they got, we had a discussion whether it was grass, and I think they ended up talking about doing just a concrete all over. That way if somebody does come over it, and it'll be a drivable, what they call a drivable edge. So if a tractor trailer did come around and wasn't an experienced driver on it, they can go over that. The back wheels of the trailer could still go over the edge of it, roll up. It won't be just a stand-up curve. It'll be a sloped, tapered curve on it too.
Won't be out there maintaining the grass every day.
Right.
No.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Item number 4, under new business, proposed approval of fire department mobile radios, Chief Ballou.
Mayor and council and supporting staff, I come before you tonight to request the purchase of 3 radios for the new vehicles that you've already purchased, and they're slowly coming in. This will be from Motorola Solutions for 3 APX 4500 800 megahertz radios for the total of $10,702.20 to be purchased on spot.
Thank you, Mr. Ballou. I have a motion to approve.
Motion, sir.
Do I have a
Second.
second? Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 5, under new business, proposed approval of weapons. Chief Elton.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have 2 in this category to discuss with you. I'd like to recommend. One is a firearm that was carried by one of our retirees, Mitchell Moore. He served in the city for 16 years and was shot in the line of duty. That first firearm would be a Glock 22 that he retired last July. We've actually used that weapon since then. He knew of that, but this was a former weapon. The others in this model we traded in when we bought the new Glock, so we recommend that this item be provided to him as in recognition of his service. And the second one is Glock 17 that was Alan Gilbert. He served us for over 10 years and provided the city excellent service during that time frame, and would like to recommend that this firearm be retired also and provided to him in recognition of his service.
Thank you, Chief Elton. I have a motion to approve.
Motion, sir.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. I'm gonna put just a little break in here before I get to Miss Simpkins. I probably should have covered it under my comments. Memorial Day is a scheduled council meeting night. If it's okay with the council, we're gonna move that to that Tuesday night instead of on Memorial Day. I don't know the date. Do you remember Miss Simpkins made
28th, I believe. May 28th.
that Monday is a regularly scheduled council meeting night, so I think it would be better for us and public that was wanting to attend and all, to maybe move it to that Tuesday night. Unless there's some objections from the council.
I don't think I'll be there.
Well, that's fine, you wouldn't have been here Monday either.
I could do Wednesday. Better than Tuesday. We're moving it anyway.
How many's gonna be here on that Tuesday? I mean, we can cancel the whole thing, but we've got a whole lot of ordinances and resolutions that kinda needs to stay on track. I mean, we can move it to the week before, we can do whatever you guys wanna do, but we do need to move it from that Monday night. But it's pretty important that we have one either that week or the week prior.
13th and 20th, yeah.
We probably could have it the Monday before Labor Day, if that would be a
That's
preferable time for y'all.
You gonna be?
I will be.
Everybody in agreement with that?
What day would that be?
20th.
The 20th.
Is that gonna be the 20th there?
Yes, sir.
Will be.
So we'll have meetings back to back on Monday nights. which is no problem. So everybody's in agreement for that one in May, we will have it on the 20th.
That works.
All right, let's see, if you can get prepared and make sure we get that advertisement in advance, and we will have it on the 20th, and won't have one at all the week of whatever holiday it is. Is that what everybody wants to do?
Yeah.
Follow me.
All right, that's what we'll do. Next item on the agenda, city manager report, Ms. Sickles.
I don't have anything tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Sickles. Next item on the agenda, city council comments, Mr. Child.
Mayor, I don't have any tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford.
All I'd like to say is, invite everybody out, Mayor and the council, this Saturday, April the 13th, it's gonna be, starting at 9 o'clock. We'll have our annual, opening day ceremonies and parade. It'll be leaving from Kmart, and the ceremonies will follow that. I'd just like to also thank a few people. First of all, the ball fields are looking great. Jeff, I mean, your guys are doing a good job up there with the con. I know we wasn't able to get all the concrete poured like we'd want to due to the weather, but I know what we have has been very, very helpful, and that goes to the next one. We've had, believe it or not, we've had 2 tournaments up there this spring already, and battling the rain, and there's a couple of people that I'd like to thank on working on that, and several of these guys are city employees that are, when they're doing this, they're doing it on their own time and want to give back to the community that they work in. Corey Standiford, he's been doing a great job on the field since he's come on in the city and making them look great. He works in the gym. Mickey Legg, Robert Keefe, Mark Cope, Blake Vaughn, and then our baseball commissioner. I'd like to thank him, Dexter Scudgeons. He's done a good job this year. It's dealing with the weather and everything, but the season is on us, and hopefully the weather will break and we'll have a good season. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Mr. Rogers.
I don't have anything tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Ms. James.
I think we'll probably not be back until after Easter, so I'd like to wish everyone a happy Easter.
Thank you, Ms. James. Ms. Stinnett.
Yes, sir. Opportunity to brag about Fort Oglethorpe. April the 27th, beginning at 11 o'clock. We're on again this year for vintage baseball. Free fun for the family. Hope you'll bring your lawn chairs out to the polo field and enjoy vintage baseball. Also, in support of our 6th Cavalry Museum, Remembering My Hero benefit on May 18th. Please go to 6thcavalrymuseum.org to take part in that activity, or just give Christine McKeever a call. Also on April 13th, not to conflict with the ball parade, but Honor Park, we will have our tree planting for fire, police department, emergency management, the whack tree, service animal, and Purple Heart. And that's the Women's Army Corps, you guys, really? Women's Army Corps, which was here on Barnhart Circle, and we even have photographs of Roosevelt, Patton, and Ike inspecting those troops back in those days. So I hope you'll come and take part at Honor Park, a tribute to those who serve. And on the 27th is Clean Catoosa, and they also will be at Honor Park doing some work. So hope to see you there in our family-friendly Fort Oglethorpe, where there's plenty of entertainment, education, and other opportunities. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Stinnett. Next item on the agenda, citizen petitions and requests. We do not have anything. Next item on the agenda is executive session. We did not have anything for executive session tonight. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.